welcome everyone to the season finale of This Is For Me, Girl Seth podcast with Tarn and
Rampy. Hello.
oh my goodness, I can't believe it's the season finale. How do you feel?
I don't know. Truth be told, no idea. Because when we started, I don't think there was really a vision of what we were going to do, how far we were going to go, or even thinking we'd make it to potentially a season finale leading into another season, guys.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's been an amazing first season and journey, and it's sorry, before I continue, if I sound very nasally, I'm just a little bit under the weather, congested, so just
That time of the year.
don't mind that, okay? If I sound cute, thank you. Sorry. Sorry.
All right, you sound cute. There you go. You got your compliment.
Thank you. Okay. I don't know why I did that. I was very out of character for me.
The meds. Let's blame the meds.
We're going to blame the meds for sure. Pellis and penicillin, you're doing me good.
Next time you need a little kick, you know what to do.
Don't do drugs, kids. Don't do drugs. Okay. But yes, it's been such an amazing first season in the sense that it helped us discover a lot about ourselves and what we want to put out in the world, and just like, you know, it's just been hella therapeutic. It's been an added on self-care part in self-care addition into our routines, and
it's really
just been great.
More for us than it has been for you, honest to God. Like,
Facts.
I'm not gonna kill you. It's not gonna kid you guys. Like, it's been more like, okay, gotta think about it. Then it requires like thinking about it. Saying some of the elements that we brought up, some of the topics we brought up. There's even other topics that we had discussed and we hadn't even talked about them yet on any of the episodes. And then there's also like part 2 of some of the episodes we've already done. So there's a lot. We've come far. We've come very far. Proud of ourselves.
Yeah. This is our legal disclaimer. Please note that we are not medical professionals or licensed psychologists/therapists. Thoughts, opinions, and comments made within each episode are solely our own. If you require serious medical or psychological help, please consult a professional, as we are just two girlies trying to support the sisterhood of the shit show of what it could be to be a Punjabi girl. Yes, pat on the backs. Pat on the backs. So thank you again all for listening, tuning in. Season 2 will drop as soon as we record it. But
let's finish this one, then we'll
absolutely
let you know.
So this episode, we decided we wanted to be a little juicy. We wanted to give you guys, you know, a little bit of a different take on just us and just something different. So what did we decide?
I'm gonna make a comment. It's really silly though. You know how like you want them to leave them with you want to sometimes leave guys with wanting more? That's what we want to do, but in this perception, which is we want our audience to be craving and wanting more. So leave an eerie of mystery over there.
Listen.
Of what's coming next. Yes, you're on the meds, not me.
Yeah, the fact that you're saying this, but hey, it is true. You know, you gotta play the game sometimes. You gotta play the game sometimes.
It's honestly open sea. It doesn't matter. We're not sexist over here. We're open sea to an audience. So we want to leave you guys with an eerie of mystery of what's to come next. So
absolutely. So this episode, we decided to go on Reddit because sometimes me and Rempy like to go onto Reddit for different, you know, pages that they have, and Am I the Asshole is such a popular page. We love reading those because sometimes we're like, yeah, you're the asshole. Oh, actually, no, you're not. Whatever the case is. So we decided to pull out a few of the most recent ones that we're really having a buzz about, and we're going to read them out and then put our spin on what we think.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So, who shall start?
Either one is fine. I don't mind.
Okay. All right. I shall go first and then we can rotate. All right. So the first one I have is, am I the asshole for telling my son's girlfriend to break up with him? My F41 son, okay, so she's 41. Her son is 20, has been in a relationship with his girlfriend, Lily, who is also 20, for about 3 years now. I love my son, and I hate to say this, but he's not turned out to be a good person. He has very little work ethic, has no desire to get a job or go to college, and spends most of his time gaming or partying. Lily, on the other hand, is the polar opposite. She's very studious, has aspirations to be a doctor, is a very good swimmer, and is currently away at college. When my son and Lily first got together in high school, they were an excellent match. We loved having Lily over, and my son definitely took more care of himself. Since then, it's rapidly deteriorated. I know my son still loves Lily, but he never gives her the attention she deserves with her clear potential, and I just feel she deserves better. When Lily came to visit a few days ago, she was visibly upset. When my son went to the store, I asked her if she was okay, and she told me that she didn't know what to do and wondered why my son had such little ambition and was so lazy. I told her I didn't see it changing anytime soon, as that's my view given it's been ongoing for almost 2 years. When asked what I would do in her situation, I told her to put herself first and what she wanted. Lily thanked me and said she'd think about things. Well, earlier today, my son comes downstairs in a rage telling me that Lily had broken up with him via text.
Oh no.
I asked him what she said, and apparently the message referred to discussions with your mom that had made her rethink the relationship. My son was livid that I've gotten involved and said I've overstepped boundaries. I told him that I didn't advise Lily to leave him, just said that she had to make her own choices and decide what was best for her. My son is now not talking to me, and my husband is annoyed, believing that having no Lily will make my son's rut last even longer. I also miss having Lily around. So, am I the asshole? Yeah. I know it left you speechless.
I don't know what to say. What do you think?
I think yes and no.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely you are overstepping a boundary because you're involving yourself,
Mm-hmm.
right? Of course. But you are trying to help that girl out. If your son's such a dickhead the way you explained it, and he has nothing going for himself, he's not even trying, that girl deserves way more. Because I guess I see myself in that,
Perhaps,
where,
yeah.
I've been in
You'd want.
situations where I'm just thriving doing me, but the other person isn't doing anything. So it's not that it's not okay for them not to do anything, but how long are they going to be in that rut where until they're tearing you down? Because it sounds like he was possibly doing that, right? He wasn't being that supportive or caring about her accomplishments, whatever the case
Yeah.
is. I think maybe it shouldn't have come from the mom. Maybe it needs to come from a
Yeah.
friend.
Yeah.
So I understand why she did it, but she definitely did cross a boundary. And maybe Lily, maybe you shouldn't have said you talked to his mom. You should have just broken up. But at the end of the day, I think it's a little assholey, not completely. I'll give it like a 50-50.
I mean, yeah, I don't think it should be coming from the parent. Like, I get that she's looking out for her, but, as a parent, you should kind of be there for your own kids. I know sometimes we don't have, like, it's not like your kids are stellar, but I don't think you should be involving in someone else's relationship like that. It's my personal opinion about it. So I'm gonna say, yeah, same, half half. Like, I know out of the kindness of being an individual, for sure I'd want that, but I don't know. I think it depends.
Yeah, I think that was a solid first one, though. But all right, which story do you have to share?
Let me get to the story. Oh man, you get lost when you go onto Reddit, to be honest, though, because there's so much on there, and it's interesting because it's like you're anonymous, and I've posted. So I'll be honest, I posted on it many years ago, though, or whatever you want to call it. But anywho, it's interesting the comments you get back, and sometimes you can kind of get reassured and say, "Yeah, I'm not." But anyways, yes, I've been posted. You'll never find it, but I posted. All right, so am I the asshole for showing my friends private chats and causing a rift in our group? In our friend group. My friend and fiance have been waiting forever to get married. She and he bought an apartment at the start of the pandemic as they wanted to do a destination wedding, and that wasn't happening anytime soon, so they put their money in a home. Good job. Then her mom passed, and they spent a lot of money on the funeral as none of her siblings would help. She had her dog get sick and car issues that meant that they would spend years of saving up for what was needed for the wedding they wanted. So meaning they spent the money on the dog, the car versus their wedding, sorry. My friend complains to me and our friend group a lot of her struggles, and one day she decided she was going to have a cheap wedding rather than wait another year. Okay. She said she was going to invite 20 or 30 people and get married in the local garden and that had a private area that people can rent out for weddings. She said she was going to do barbecue skewers and a homemade cake. She was telling us about how she was doing things because she was going to get married in July. Our mutual friends, who are all supposed to be bridesmaids, started a chat that was supposed to be for planning her bachelorette party, but then they started bad mouthing her as she was going to make the wedding bring your own alcohol. She did not, she nor her fiance drink, so they cut the budget on the alcohol. I have thoughts about this, but we'll get to that after. I think as soon as some people really look forward to free booze, I get it, because some people really look forward to free booze, but then it just got meaner and meaner. The couple had bet sorry, the friends group had a bet going on how long the marriage would last because the wedding was cheap and her diamond was small. I didn't say anything, but it really bothered me as my wedding was also very small, non-expensive for different reasons, as I get social anxiety and having people stare at me is stressful, and I still wondered if they said mean things about me too. Oh no. Sorry. I'll give my feedback here. But anyways, I was feeling a lot of guilt and admitted to my friend when we got coffee that this chat existed. Uh-oh. She demanded to see it and was horrified. When I gave her my phone, she cried a bit, and a few days later announced she wasn't going to have any bridesmaids and uninvited all the bridesmaids except for me. The three of them obviously figured out it was me, and I'm getting texts from them flaming me for ruining our friendship and sharing the group chat. In particular, the friend who would be the maid of honor was telling everyone I ruined their friendship because I was jealous I wasn't chosen, which was definitely not the case. Holy. So I'm gonna be fair and honest. I didn't read the details. I just caught on to the story. I was like, okay, cool. But oh my God.
This is juicy.
Holy. Okay, so first thing is, everyone's personal situation or whatever it may be, depending on their for the wedding, is their business. It's no one else's business, right? But yes, if you're complaining to others, you're opening up that window for people to know more of what's going on. And necessarily, you're not fully always telling people the whole story going on behind it. You're telling them your perspective. So from that, they're gonna judge based off of that 100%. And I know sometimes we share with our friends because we want their opinions, we want to know what's going on, we appreciate it, and yeah, but weddings is one of those things get a little tricky with that. But the alcohol thing, us as Punjabi, blood, you can't have a wedding without alcohol. So, I mean, there's been instances where due to religious causes and reasons, it's happened, and I get it, right? But truth be told, even when those happen, I can honestly say there's still comments being passed around how, oh, there's no alcohol around. There is. And no one's going to admit to
Absolutely.
it. And no one's going to admit to it, but it goes down, right? For whatever reason. Anywho, so again, I would not say bring your own alcohol, though. I mean, I don't know, it gets tricky in that case, but yeah, that's hard. And the whole point people go to a wedding is to eat and drink, like, to be fair, but to each their own, right? What can we say? But her isolating and just making one of her a bridesmaid, you're putting a fucking spot on that friend to be like, that friend told you everything, you idiot. That's wrong, right? So you were not the asshole to share it with her. The bride was an asshole for making you the only bridesmaid. But I don't know. I don't know.
I feel like there's just so much with this one. This is so messy.
Love it.
I was about to say, like,
I'm reading it. I'm like, oh shit. Oh, coughing break.
Yeah, I just needed a cough. Sorry. Yeah, this is really messy. This is so messy. It made my head spin just because I'm not this messy of a person. I avoid drama. I don't. I hear about stuff, and that's the drama. Like, I don't involve myself. My peace is way too important to me. So
You're on the other side of it. You're like, peace.
I'm on the other side of this. Like, so my take is, if this was me, okay, and one of my friends was placed into a group chat like this, and
would you want to know if it's your wedding that they're saying shit about you? 100%.
I would have been the friend and told her after the wedding. I would have delayed it because I feel like
I don't know. I don't know what I would have done. This is so tricky. I feel like I would have maybe delayed it, but at the same time, I don't know because
Why?
I'm also the type of person like, tell me. I don't care what the situation is. You tell me what's going on. Like, I've always been that with like my friends. Like, tell me what's going on. Like, don't be scared to tell me whatever the situation is. Right? If it's gonna hurt my feelings, whatever, tell me. So from that standpoint, I would appreciate the friend doing that, but I think, yeah, I think I agree with what you said there, where her friend, the bride, is a little bit of the asshole for putting the light on her, for being the one who exposed, right?
She should have not. She should have just made no bridesmaids and that's it.
Or she should have just kept it, or whatever. She should have figured it out in the sense like, hey,
Yeah.
kept it very low key, and after the wedding, be like, and then light their asses on fire.
Yeah, I agree to
Light
that.
their asses on fire
Because
at the end.
you're
not
going
now.
through such a, again, you can see that the bride was going through such a stressful situation. Again, we don't know what other situation or dynamics were going on in that case, but to go and just do that, and then you're sharing because you're out of concern. Sometimes, yeah, we can share stuff, but you're in that group chat too, so you kind of also have to be mindful of, you put yourself in that place. Like, if it was going on with me, I would be like, okay, no brides. I'd be like, no bridesmaids then. Like, I'd be like, oh, you know what, I'm gonna cut that budget too. Save out there too, you know, it's crazy.
Yeah, and like the whole bring your own alcohol thing, everyone has their own take on that. I feel like it's kind of like, when people are like, I guess, vegan, and not all of your friends are you just gonna have a vegan?
Well,
right,
like they said, they don't drink themselves personally,
Yeah.
so that was probably the reason why they didn't
Yeah.
want to, and I get it. But I think perspective we're coming from, and especially myself having my own and your plan and your brothers, we were part of the process. We were making sure the first thing we were looking at food and alcohol. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
we were
that's why I'm
counting
like,
it
you gotta just be a little bit more considerate there. But other than that, I feel like the friends, like, it's rude on you to tell her she's cheaping out because of all of this. Like, she literally went through so much.
Mm-hmm.
Your friend went through so much, and if she asked you to do, like, if she just asked of this, she wasn't asking for so many big things from you. So that just speaks to you guys as friends and what your priorities are at, right? So, yeah, it was a tricky one. It was definitely a tricky one, but
Mm-hmm.
very, very interesting for sure. So the next one that I have is, am I the asshole for going to my birthday dinner without my husband when he wasn't ready on time? It was my 40th birthday a few days ago, and we had a reservation for a table at a nice restaurant for 7. It takes about 20 minutes to drive to the restaurant, so I plan to leave the house at 6:30 to build in time for traffic and picking up my father. My husband, who's 43 male, had decided to do a bit of work on his car about half an hour before we needed to leave. At 6:30, when the kids and I were waiting by the door, he was still doing it. He hadn't changed and hadn't showered. I told him to quickly get ready, but it got to 6:50 and he still wasn't ready yet, so I decided to just leave without him. He has a habit of always running late when we go out, and he is always the last one to be ready. Normally, I can tolerate it since it only sets things back by 10 minutes at the most, but my birthday dinner was important to me, and I had been looking forward to it for weeks. Making us wait for 20 minutes was taking the mick, so I yelled out that we were leaving and left because I didn't want to lose the table since we would have arrived around 7:20. I called the restaurant to let them know we would be late, and we luckily still had our table, but my husband didn't show up at the restaurant, and when we got home, he was mad at me. I told him that I was tired of him not respecting my time and always making people wait for him, and that he could have made his own way to the restaurant. My father agreed with my decision to leave without him, but my kids were a little upset that he wasn't there to have dinner with us. So, am I the asshole? So, sorry, I was reading the comments.
That's okay. You say what you think.
I was just reading the comments, but I don't think she's the asshole because it's different if it's like a regular thing,
yeah.
But she's told you in advance for weeks. Why are you doing something 30 minutes before you're supposed to get ready and leave? Like, it's different if he was doing something from, let's say, 4 p.m. and it just dragged out by accident. I feel like I would have had a little bit more tolerance there, but your ass is starting something closer to when we need to leave. That is
especially when you know beforehand the plan's been made, right? Like, if it was prompt last minute,
and like, make your woman feel special, okay? Make her feel special. Like, if she makes you feel special, she respects you. It has to be reciprocated. Boy, listen to your women, okay? She told you how important this was to her. She, it's her birthday dinner. Her father's gonna be there. Your kids are gonna be there. And then she's gonna leave. She tried to wait for you. She's gonna leave, okay? Who knows what type of restaurant this was? Some restaurants like are very strict
with the timing and stuff,
especially
and
with after the pandemic. Some are very
or
strict.
seating. You have to all be there, be present to
Yes,
be seated and
yes.
stuff. So that varies.
So very much asshole move on him. You best be bringing in flowers or something to apologize instead of being mad at her now. But I am totally on the side of the girl.
I mean, like, personally, I think, like, if you go to the person and you've told them, here are the plans, and this is specific, like, birthday related or something, like a special event type of thing, then, and the person has agreed to you to say, yeah, we're gonna go. It's a different story if he was prior to saying, okay, you know what, I have something going on that day, but however, I'll let you know or whatever, that's a different story. But if on that day, and you knew beforehand that you're going out, he's agreed to that time and everything with you, then yeah, he should be ready on it. Like, you can put it aside another day. And this is what goes into like spending, that time with the family, making someone feel important, giving them that time and stuff, especially when you've already previously made the commitment to do so. You should kind of respect it.
Yeah, and you're exposing your kids to this
Oh yeah.
type of behavior, which
Oh yeah,
is a
they're
no-no.
watching. They're
Yep.
freaking watching.
Yep. So the next one I have is, am I the asshole for ruining my brother-in-law's reputation by telling the truth to my friends? My in-laws are currently furious with me for hurting my brother-in-law's feelings and reputation with my friend group. Recently, my single brother-in-law, Chris, who's a 38 male, has been hinting at me to introduce him to women, and I've refused. Chris has been single for almost 3 years, and he has been having a hard time meeting women. He tried flirting with my friend, but she had been cold and non-receptive. This was my friend Grace, 35, female. Grace is not interested in him due to his inability to be faithful, and she wasn't physically attracted to him. He tried to be flirtatiously engage with her during a small party my husband and I had last Saturday. My husband got a long-awaited promotion, so we had a little party. During the party, Grace had grown frustrated with his insatious flirting, and at some point told him in no uncertain terms that she found him physically ugly, and that his physical ugliness is only surpassed by the ugliness of his character. Sorry. She told him this in private, so no other guest had heard her scathing review of his personhood. Chris left the party. The following afternoon, while my husband and I were nursing a wicked hangover, my in-laws, to my surprise, called to scold me for having abused and embarrassed Chris. After a few minutes of us shouting back and forth on the phone, I reminded my husband that handling his family was his job. So while my husband argued with his parents, I reviewed our security footage. And honey, Grace verbally tore him apart. Grace reminded him that he cheated and divorced his late ex-wife Lily while she was battling cancer, and that he then got dumped by the mistress for being a cheater as he continued to cheat on her. Grace told him that he wasn't a man of any significant value other than the few coins he had in the bank, and that there's no way in hell she'd entertain his delusions of sexual gratitude and beauty. She also said the only thing he had going for him was his over-bloated job title as an executive director to a third-rate company that will probably collapse in the next 5 years. As a parting gift, she told him to consider some cosmetic work to improve his haggard appearance, and perhaps to start praying for divine intervention to fix his rotten soul, since there's no way a psychotherapist could ever come close to fixing whatever is wrong with him. My in-laws and Chris feel that I shouldn't have told my friends what Chris did because he's now perceived by my girlfriends as a terrible person. I told them he was unfortunately a terrible person, and people would have always found out what happened between him and the late great Lily. I then discussed what happened with my colleague Natasha. She said I was cruel for having told my friend group about what happened between Chris and his ex-wife because Chris had grown a lot in the past 2 years and he didn't need to be known for the worst thing he has ever done. Natasha is dating Chris's friend, so she also knows him. FYI, I only discussed Chris's treatment of Lily with my direct friend group. That's only 6 people, and half of them already knew as they were also friends with Lily, so it's not like I'm screaming hear ya in the town square. Oh my goodness, sorry. I laugh so many times because I have been a Grace. That's why. I have been a Grace and I've told people off. That's why I was laughing because I'm like, this is me. This is me. She's not the asshole in my mind because, again, they were friends with Lily. In the end, she mentioned.
Mhm.
She also mentioned the fact that, it's your close friend group. Your close friends know everything. They know everything about your business. They know about your sex life. They know about everything. Okay?
Mhm.
It is what it is. If he is consistently going at your friend and is making her uncomfortable, she has every right to tell him off. That's just how I see it. Your in-laws are just butthurt because, again, their poor little boy, right? So that's just my take on it. Yeah, not the asshole.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you on that one. I don't know. People sometimes are just, it's just the way the world works.
Yep, for sure. All right. So, do you have another one?
Yes.
All right. This will be our last one.
Oh no, then it has to be good.
It will be good. I trust it.
Let's hope so. Okay, we'll do this one. This one's funny. I'm gonna ask for giving my wedding guests a dress code. I, female 29, I'm getting married to my partner, male 30, and we have planned a fantasy Renaissance theme wedding. We're massive fandom nerds, book, video games, movies, comics, etc., and actually met at a Rene fair and wanted that to be part of our wedding. We discussed it with our close friends, and everyone thought it was a great idea. So we sent out the invitations plus an attached letter that would explain why we wanted to have a themed wedding and examples of types of things we wanted to see our people wear. Just Google I think it's Renaissance Affair if you want to see. We included pictures, descriptions, budget categories that went from how to do it yourself, a DIY, a costume using old thrifted clothes to straight out buying something online. We also asked people to reach out if they had any worries so we could work something out. I have received a few messages from my closer friends saying they've heard other people, including some of me and my partner's family members, calling me a bridezilla, saying we're being unreasonable, that this is ridiculous, that they don't want to go if I'm going to get all up in arms over clothing. My soon-to-be mother-in-law, 59, and sister-in-law, 26, are especially pissed. I reached out to them after their names were mentioned, and they said I am ruining what is supposed to be a happy day by demanding people to dress up like idiots. I'm dead. They said everyone should be allowed to dress in what makes them feel comfortable and that I'm being very controlling. My partner says not to listen to them, but there are so many people saying it. I feel hurt by all this. I assume people would react like this if I said everyone needed to go out and spend hundreds of dollars on costumes, but we went out of our way to include pictures, suggest a very low budget options. I honestly don't think it's a big deal, but I'm having a second thoughts about the whole themed idea. Oh, well, okay, so there's edits. So one of the edits says one of the low budget options was things like a normal floral spring summer dress many people would already have with the addition of like a crown, a flower crown, or a belt, and it went from there. The masculine stuff would be like a linen shirt with a piece of fabric tied around your waist or belt. It was very low key. I'm not super strict about it, just things like that, like a cocktail dress or just not things like a cocktail dress or a bodycon dress or formal suit and tie. Also going to add, excluding mother-in-law and sister-in-law, our closest family and friends haven't complained, and several people have said they are looking forward to it. It is more so cousins, uncles, or sorts of friends, and they also have not directly contacted us. We're just hearing about it through the grapevine. I mean, when you hear about like afterwards what she's mentioned as what she kind of wanted, bro, just fucking leave your hair nice out like the hippie style, curly waves, put a fucking flower crown, a nice ass maxi dress, and you're good to go. Like, what the hell is
She's not
wrong,
asking
people?
for so much.
No, you could do like a nice like any kind of summer dress. There's so many nice maxi dresses. And most likely this person's in the States and they have like Lulu's. Lulu's is so nice for dresses there.
Yeah, I wasn't sure which way I was gonna go with this until you
The
gave the
edit
description.
was important. That's why I read it and I was like, oh,
I
because
was like,
I was expecting like what you were thinking before,
yeah,
right?
so I'm like, she's not the asshole. She is giving you guys a lot of leeway. She probably worked so hard to get all that for you guys, and for you guys to be like, oh, you're ruining this day. It's her day.
And the son too. No one's blaming the son though, because they came up together because they were fans of the whole concept together. They came up with it. It's not just her. So go talk to your son. Go talk to him. Be like, hey, if you have issues. But then again, it's not nice to be talking about it to others. At least go talk to the people involved straight up and say, hey, whoever it is, right? But from the edits, I'm like, no, it's okay. Like just, bro. If you had the option to go to a white wedding, Punjabi wedding even, man, and I could show up in a maxi dress to like the jago, let's go. Let's fucking go. We have weddings this summer and I'm already sitting here scratching my head going, Bona Kia.
I love how you're in that, where I just literally have no care in the world.
No, I'm there.
No care in the world over here, and it's amazing. Yeah, there's like some brown people who plan where it's like they will have a dress code for every single pre-event too. So like this girl's hella lenient in my opinion. Like she's not the asshole.
No.
So yeah.
Why would you want to show up in like a tight ass dress and stuff and uncomfortable? The material's not always comfortable and stuff either. Even men it's even worse in the summer because they don't even have like the option to wear shorts or like whatever. They're stuck with a suit, like a proper suit.
Yeah.
So if you're given the option to like, hey, I can kind of play around with it a bit, and again, this ties into your bloody creativity. Go be creative. And when do we have that time outside of anywhere to show our creative side? And that's a beautiful way just to show your beautiful creative side out. Not an asshole.
Yep, not at all. But yeah, that's all we had for today. Anything you would like to add, Rendy?
I want to say thank you to you, to myself, and to everybody. I think it's a collaborative effort to go ahead and do it. I know that there hasn't been as much of a social media presence as I would have wanted, so you're going to see that change is coming very soon, because that I think it's requirement. So you'll see it coming, don't worry. But I wanted to say thanks for everything else, for being just supporting, being around and listening, whoever does. And the only thing we're missing is comments and feedback, please.
Yes, tell us what you think. Again, thank you all for listening, tuning in, being just a part of this journey. It's been really great. We've heard some good stuff over certain episodes over time. Just about certain things that we've opened up for other people, what they found interesting, all of that. But leave some comments, leave some feedback. If there's something you want to hear next season, tell us, right? Summer is around the corner, hopefully with the stupid weather we have, but
be positive, it'll be fine.
Yeah, so the summer is right around the corner. There's so much happening for so many different people. So many different events and things are coming up. So there's bound to be something that you guys want us to talk about. There's bound to be something, right? So, just thank you. And again, my apologies for the sickiness that I presented today. But again, hey, I'm a little
under the
weather,
which is fine.
It's fine. That's just how I had to roll out for the season finale. Okay, I could not let the season finale
go on
without me.
Of course,
right? So
it wouldn't be the same,
right? So just be talking to yourself.
That's okay too. I actually go off on tangents by myself sometimes. So you would be crazy that like sometimes you just sit there and you're thinking to yourself, and you could go into this whole other spiral. So
for sure. But yeah, thank you again all for tuning in for the season finale.
Thanks, guys. Until next season, we will
catch you very, very soon. Bye.
Bye.